All right, thank you everyone for coming along and giving up your Thursday evening for our subject selection evening for 2020. Just before we get started, we're going to try and get you home for some dinner before too long. But if anyone needs to use the toilet in that time, for males, the toilet's just downstairs in the Keeg building, and for girls, it's just across in the Luck toilets. So what are we going to do this evening? We're going to have a look at a few things, briefly have a bit of a chat about the senior schooling system, because that's where you're heading, and some of the things that you're choosing now may make an influence upon what you're going to do in the future. We're going to have a bit of a look in particular, of course, at the middle school curriculum and some changes that we're introducing for the coming years. You also need, of course, to know how to do the mechanical things. How do you actually go about choosing the subjects that you want to do? And most of the evening will indeed be the opportunity for you to find out what's in those subjects that you can choose by having a chat to your teachers for the most part of the evening. Just before we get started too much into the detail, I'd just like to invite our principal, Mrs. Googe, to come and say a few words of welcome.
Yeah, warm welcome to you all this evening. Thank you, girls, for coming along as well. I think it's a very important time, and it's a great opportunity at this stage in your schooling to have a look at what's on offer for you. Over the last year, we've been very innovative, or trying to be very innovative, in engaging you through the introduction of vertical care classes, and now this is another new change for you next year. Typically, we have had elective subjects the year after. So we usually start elective subjects in year 9. And so for our younger girls, this is a really great new opportunity for you. And it's designed to not only support you through your academic choices, but also to keep you engaged in your subjects. Not everybody likes performing on the stage. Not everybody likes calculating numbers in accounting. And so this is your opportunity now to have a think about where you might be heading. I guess the beauty of these subject selections is that it's a bit of a no risk for you, really. Okay, this is your time to go one way or the other. So many of you may choose to really focus on your strengths and just continue on in that pathway, but some of you might want to take a little bit of a risk and see if you've got talents that lie where you hadn't known before. And that's okay at this stage in your academic career, because you will have the opportunity to consider that each term or each semester alongside with Dr. Fry and your teachers. And so I encourage you to think about that when you're choosing your selection. It's not the be-all and end-all. You know, there's plenty of time for you to be experimenting and having a look. It might be that you know exactly where you're heading. I remember that I was a teacher when I was in grade 3. I used to boss all of my little sisters around with my chalkboard. So I knew pretty early where I wanted to go. But you don't have to, and that's okay. I've got a year 12 son who has no idea where he wants to go. So today, I want you to take the opportunity to talk to these great people, find a little bit about their subject and what it is that you can expect to be doing in your lessons. These are the people who are going to guide you into where you might be heading over the next couple of years. You've got plenty more years of Girls Grammar Journey, and I want you to get it right from the beginning so that we can support you the best way we can. So have a good evening tonight. Thank you, teachers, very much for coming in out of school hours time, and that's really appreciative. So girls, make sure you have that chat tonight, and parents, thank you for coming along and supporting your daughters and helping them make some of these pedagogical and curriculum decisions. Thank you.
Thank you. So the first thing we'll have a look at is the senior schooling system. We'll just have a bit of a brief overview, but if there's anyone who wishes to know any of the information in some more detail, I'll be here at the end of the presentation, and you can come and talk to me. But essentially these Year 7 and 8 cohorts will be the 5th and the 4th cohorts to go through the senior system. So it's important to know that whilst it's new for the students who are going through it now, by the time that you get through it, we will have had several cohorts go through and we'll be in a fairly stable position. The main difference that most people sort of think of with the senior system is talking about that QCS test. So For you guys, there will be no QCS test. Indeed, after in exactly a week, we will have no QCS test left at all. Instead, what you'll have is an ATAR if you wish to go to university, and we also need to make sure that you'll be able to fulfil the requirements for a Queensland Student Education, but those processes will be coming up in the next few years. So let's get a bit of a look at where things are in terms of your journey in education. So you're actually getting pretty close to entering into the senior school. You've been through our early learning and our primary school and are currently in the middle school. And for some of you in the next few years, you'll be heading to the senior school. That is the point at which you start to be thinking about the decisions you want to make for after school, whether that be university, further education, employment. So you don't have to make any of those decisions now, but now's the time to start thinking about the sorts of things that you like to do. So I sent a letter home a few weeks ago saying that we've actually been having a bit of a look at our curriculum, particularly in the middle school, and how we can better serve your needs. So what we're going to be doing is, as of next year, introducing those elective subjects 1 year earlier. And we'll also be looking in the coming years to have a slight difference for Year 10 as well. For our current Year 7s, you can have a look at that in 2019. What you have been doing is experiencing a complete core curriculum, so that is where you have no choice of the subjects and everyone does the same thing at all times. Over the next 2 years, in Year 8 and 9, you'll have the opportunity to retain a certain amount of core, but actually start choosing some subjects that you can do. You can see by the time you get to Year 10, we'll be running a Year 10 program, and we've already started some discussions as a staff about what that might look like. It will involve Australian curriculum. It will involve elective subjects of some description, whether that be in the current form or actually more preparatory for senior subjects at Year 11 and 12 is still to be decided over the next year. Importantly though, you can see there that in Year 10 you can see the term 4 is Unit 1. So when you get to the grade 11 and 12 subjects, we actually don't call them semesters anymore. We're going to call them Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3 and Unit 4. And the trick to it all is that, and you can see in Year 12 in Term 4 we have what we call external exams. So Term 4 of Year 12, most of that is not going to be teaching. It'll actually be prepping and studying and then sitting some exams. So what we're going to be doing is moving that Unit 1 from the start of Year 11 to the end of Year 10 to allow you enough time to get through the work in enough detail to allow you the best opportunity for success. For our Year 8, it's a similar picture. You have been doing those core subjects this year. Next year, you will be doing those core and elective subjects, which is what the process we're going through tonight to choose. And then we'll be going into that Year 10 program, followed by our Unit 1, 2, 3, 4 and external exams. I guess the major difference in terms of that is that Year 10 Unit 1. That will be a significant change, and it will also be a significant cultural change for our school and probably many schools in fact. I think one of the main messages that I want to get across this evening is a need, if you have family members, if you have friends that are enrolling into girls' grammar in the future years, that process really can't happen at Year 11 anymore because we'll be starting that work in Year 10. So if that is the case, please start getting that word out that the enrolment has to come a little bit earlier. It also is really important that the students are settled into their schooling and their expectations when they're transferring from one school to another. And so again, I encourage enrolment at the earliest possible time. For the Year 8, 9 and 10 curriculum next year, you will have 5 core subjects still to study, but you'll also then get to choose 3 elective subjects. So you're finding that you're going to be doing less subjects and you will have choice. So those core subjects that you all will still need to do are English, mathematics, and for mathematics we are splitting those into essentials, general or methods. So essentials, general and methods are the senior subjects, so we're starting to prepare you as best we can for those senior subjects. Essentials is the entry-level subject, General is the middle-level subject, and the Methods is the harder extension-type subject. Science, Humanities and Social Sciences, and also a lesson of physical activity. For your electives, we have 10 electives of which you can choose. So they are Ag Science, Business, Dance, Drama, Food and Textiles, Digital Tech, Music, PE, Spanish, and Visual Art and Design. You can see I've got a little asterisk next to Spanish. The reason why is that if you are thinking of doing Spanish as a subject in Year 11 and 12, that is one that you really need to be doing all the way through. It's not possible to pick it up at Year 11 and 12. It's also important to be thinking ahead. If you are very, very clear about what you want to do when you leave school, and you know that involves a really, really competitive university course, so for example, if you want to be a doctor, those courses are hard to get into because they're very competitive. Doing something like Spanish, which is a language other than English, will give you bonus points to university. So if you are unsure about what you want to do, but you are thinking about a competitive course, then I would advise that picking up Spanish is a great idea. So what do you do about selecting subjects? Well, again, it's common sense, essentially. You pick the things that you're good at and that you enjoy. The reason being is that'll lead you into a career and a pathway that will be enjoyable for you. Okay, so you don't want to be doing subjects because you think they are the ones that you should be doing. You don't want to be doing subjects because they are the ones that your friends are doing. You've got to give yourself the best opportunity to end up in a pathway that's going to make you happy. As Mrs. Gooch said, the opportunity over these next year or two is to either stick with what you know and what you love, but you also have the opportunity to chop and change those elective subjects. So if you are selecting subjects now, you have the opportunity to make changes at the end of a semester so that you can experience different electives and have more of an idea about the things that not only that you do like, but you also will find out potentially things that you don't like and you know that you no longer want to pursue them. One little caveat there, of course, that if we have subjects that hardly anyone chooses, then it makes it very difficult for those subjects to go ahead. So whilst I suspect that won't be the case, just need to be aware of that. If that is the case, then of course I will be in contact about that. So what we want you to do, we want you to have a look at that subject guide. Now I know some people have just come in and haven't grabbed a subject guide. I think we're about to run out, so I'll print a few more of those off in a moment and I'll bring them back up to the hall. Have discussions with your teachers, have discussions with your parents, have discussions with your older brothers and sisters. When you make your subject selections, just make note that Monday 9th of September 2019 is the date where we would like to get the forms back, because it's quite a process to build a timetable, so we need to get started on it. Again, those are the people you can talk to. Essentially, anyone at Girls Grammar is a resource that you can call upon for some advice. In terms of how you actually fill out the form, it's just a slight difference between the two sections of the form. The first thing I want you to do is just tick one of the maths subjects that you would like to do. What we'll do is we'll have a look at that. We'll have a look at the type of maths you're currently doing. We'll also have a look at your results and we'll come up with a decision about which is the best subject for you to do. In terms of electives, I'd just like you to do that in a number order. So preferencing it from number 1 to number 4. So even though we're only choosing 3, I do want you to choose a number 4, just in case we are unable to make the timetable work for you to get you your first 3 preferences. We should be able to do that, but just in case. I'd just like to take the opportunity to invite our staff to come up and just introduce themselves and give you at most 30-second spiel about the subject and why you should be choosing to do it, and then we'll have an opportunity to go and talk to them. All right, thanks guys.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Paul Morris, and I have the joy of teaching mathematics. So if you want to know more about the maths and all the fun that we can have, I'll be down there in the back corner. Thank you.
Hola, mi nombre es Nicole Graham y si quiero estudiar español, va a mí. So if you would like to learn Spanish, please come see me.
Good evening, my name is Nora Hennessy and I'm the visual art teacher here. There's this misconception out there that if you take visual arts, you're going to become a starving artist. Please come and talk to me so I can dispel these rumours and convince you that taking visual arts you will have a number of opportunities and you'll have an awesome time. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jess Lamb. I teach drama. You already want to take this subject, so just come have a chat with me.
Hi, I'm Lee Bartlam. My name's at the top. You probably don't need to come chat to me tonight because you're all doing English. Have fun.
Evening, my name is Jaden Borg. If you have any questions about technology or want to make any robots or program anything, come and see me, please.
Hello, I'm Emma Whitehand. I am Humanities and Social Science. I'm a core subject, so you have to do my subject. And we have great fun, so come and have a chat.
Good evening all, I am Christy Day. You can come and speak with me about any of your science questions. Again, science is a core subject, so no getting out of that one either.
Hi everyone, Marie Canavan, and for Food and Textiles, you know you girls have just been trialling all of those fun design solutions and there's more of that to come. Okay.
Hi, I'm Koo Lacey. You can come and talk to me about agricultural science. Agricultural science is where we learn about food and fibre. We all eat, it's pretty important.
And most importantly, I am Greta Doherty. I will be talking to you about physical activity, which is your core subject, and PE, which is your elective. And just like you to remember, that studies show kids who play sport do better in school.
All right, thank you everybody. What we'll do is ask our staff to just make their way to their tables and thank you very much. And if you would like to go and have a chat, please do so. Thank you very much.